So the weather system that comes from north to south, and our graphic represents violence. But violence is also a metaphor, and it's not exactly how we always think of it. So here we'll see violence with a gunboat. And when we say violence, that's normally what we think of, right? Guns, bombs, tanks. But there's other forms of violence as well. So look at this boat right here. Do y'all see the names of the companies on the sails? See this gas mask, this fumigation plane. What type of violence could this be? Environment. Specifically agro-industry. The way we treat the food systems that we eat, and ultimately that's a violence against ourselves, no, because we will eat those crops. Or think about, in the context of here, South Florida, Central American and Haitian folks who work in the fields picking that, and they're also the ones most impacted by that form of violence of how we treat our food. So that's a way of thinking of violence as well. Monsanto. What about this one right here? Cruise ship. What does that represent? Tourists. Why would tourism be a violence? Exploitation. There's all the environment, local economies, racism, there's all these different levels. The fact that some people have the economic benefit that they can put themselves anywhere in the world when they feel like it, and if you live there, you basically have to tolerate their presence, but you don't have that same privilege of moving freely.
Trafficking.
Trafficking as well. And then this one over here, everybody loves this photo. I love to hate it. Who do we recognize there? Who's that? Who's this right here?
Sam, Uncle.
Uncle Scrooge, dressed as Uncle Sam. How about this? And what's the boat shaped as? Coke bottle. What could this represent? What type of violence is this? Speak up.
Cultural violence.
Cultural violence. Or cultural imperialism? A good example I have of this is in my village in Colombia, La Agua. We have these traditional beings in our folklore. La Madre Monte, which is like the spirit of Mother Earth. The Patasola, which is like a one-footed forest woman. The Moan, which is a river spirit that has a big hat and smokes a cigar by the river. And if you ask a lot of the youth in my community about these beings, most of them don't know who they are and they don't care. But all of them, in every community, mine and others that I've been to, will recognize every single character on this photo. So it's also about how our cultures and our identities are being replaced by a manufactured culture. A culture that comes out of capitalism and consumerism and really takes away our identity and our relationship to place. So that is also a form of violence, even though at first glance we might not see it as such.